I gave you 3 things about a wife last night. You remember them?
About getting a wife?
3 things. I told you 3 things to find if you want to really marry the right one. What are they?
First one is good soil.
Good soil, good background. You got it. Write these down. Hey kids, you're gonna I'm gonna help some of you young guys. The kind of wife that understands the call of God must come from good soil, meaning a godly family. Don't ever marry a girl who comes from a messy family. You're going to have a messy future with her. Make sure she comes from good soil, meaning a godly upbringing. Number 1. Number 2, what was what?
A godly mother.
A godly mother. Godly mother is the key, second key, because the girl will become like her mother. That's a fact of life, brother. If you don't like her mother, don't touch the girl, because she'll be just like her mother down the road. Women, oh Lord, help him. I'm giving him good material, brother. What are you talking about? He's praying for me. Oh Lord, help him. I don't need your help, Mr. Brock. The people want, do you want this or not? Now, make sure she comes from godly soil, meaning a godly heritage, and make sure she has a godly mother. Number 3, what else did I give you?
Check the heritage on both sides of the family.
Make sure the heritage on both sides of the family, the daddy and the mommy, the grandparents, is rich in the Lord. You have those 3, most times you'll win. And you see, no true Christian woman will ever rebel against a husband who really loves her. It says, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Well, if you love your wife like that, she'll gladly submit to you. And submission doesn't mean rule me. I'm your slave. You can wipe your feet on my head. It doesn't mean that. Submission means I submit your authority to protect me. It's for protection. When a woman says to her husband, I submit your authority, she submits because he adores her. She submits because he loves her. And she submits that he might protect her, not destroy her. How many understand? Put your hands up high. How many of you ladies would love to submit to a man who adores you, or protect you day and night, and take care of you 24 hours a day, and never once say anything mean to you? Gladly you'll submit. Because you'll submit, not that he can rule you, you'll submit so he might protect you. You become his baby, his girlfriend. The best friend he has got in the world is his wife. Come on, that's the way it is, his confidant. Exactly. That's what the Bible teaches. But in some cases today, you don't see that. I'm talking to this kid about the call of God, and I said, make sure your wife comes from godly soil, godly mother, godly heritage on both sides. Then you'll have no trouble. But at the same time, I said, make sure she is as called as you are to serve Bunky, or otherwise you're going to have trouble. Now, the servant's test is God, and you're going through it now. God is going to test your limit in serving a man of God. Men of God are unpredictable, number 1. Number 2, write this down. If you're going to work with a preacher, you might as well know that. Number 2, men of God sometimes will pull away from you. They pull away because of pressure on their life. They pull away because God is calling them to pull away. Like Elijah pulled away from his servant. He left him in Beersheba to go down to Horeb. And so you got to be a support. Your job is to support that man of God no matter what is going through with him. You're to support him. That's what the servants here, sit down here. This is what the servant's test is all about. God is going to put you in a place to see how will he serve. Is he willing to serve the man when the man is not pleasant to serve? I tell my guys, there is a man of God and there's the man. The man of God is very easy to serve because he's the guy who's on the platform singing hallelujah, wearing a white suit. That's marvelous. But the man who's not the white suit, who's not on the platform, who takes a walk on the beach like you sometimes walk with Bunky because he lives in Florida, that man can be extremely difficult at times. When we're in the crowds, we're okay. When we're alone, we're in trouble. Because the most difficult thing for a man of God is when he's not with his people, when he's not with his family, he's by himself, and there are troubles, struggles in his own heart and mind. I woke up just recently, I prayed, had a marvelous time, I was singing in the Spirit, loving the Lord, and the phone rang, and when the phone rang, I was given news that nearly destroyed everything that happened that morning in prayer. And thank God that prayer can keep you. But when these things hit you from nowhere, it's very difficult to know how to handle it. I'm in Cyprus, ready for a crusade. When I get the news, I'm being investigated by the U.S. Senate. Now you tell me, can prayer help? Of course, but I needed at that time someone to say, I'm believing God with you. You need support when you hear that the Senate of the U.S. is investigating your life, and you're going to wonder if you're going to survive this thing. These things hit you out of nowhere. So what do? Not only can you, look, it's important to know Jesus, but it's important to also have people like Caleb and Joshua that hold your hand in battle. How many understand? Put your hands way up high. Moses knew God, but he needed the Calebs and the Joshuas. Jesus in his moment needed Peter, James, John in the garden. Come on, even the Son of God had to go through that. So that's what he'll go through. He may go through a Gethsemane. He may go through a battle with Amalek. He may go through battles he'll never talk to you about because he can't. At such times, it is important for that man to go beyond the limit to serve that man. I mean serve that man. And that man during battles he becomes fragile, he becomes sensitive, he becomes unpredictable. He can be easily damaged because his strength is his weakness.